guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin Cosplay, and today we're starting a new show with you guys. It's Madoka Magica!
Yes, or actually the full name is Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica. There
Mahou
you go.
Shoujo Madoka Magica.
At least that's what's written on here, so there you go. We asked a few weeks ago what shows you wanted us to react to on YouTube, anime shows, and we got a bunch of recommendations. We picked the 5 most recommended, and then we did a poll on Patreon, and this one was one of the winners because it was a tie. And we will do the other show that won, but we won't tell you which one that is yet.
Shh, that's a secret.
Yeah, we're keeping that for December. So we'll see. But in the meantime, we will be watching Madoka Magica as a replacement for ReZero, right?
Yep.
So Madoka Magica, I've never watched it. I've never really looked it up. I think it was because it looked like a children's show.
It got the vibe of the magical girl that you expected.
Yes.
So the cute little girl with the puffy dresses. Colorful puffy dresses, yeah.
Everything is pink, everything is light. So I was really into shonen as a teenager, and I did start watching new shows, but I was never really into shoujos. So, and I thought, Madoka Magica seems like a shoujo to me, so I'm not gonna go into that. But I learned later on that it gets pretty intense at one point.
So is it a shoujo or shonen then?
I don't really care, actually. Apparently it's good, so that's all I need to watch a show. So there you go.
Is it gonna be traumatizing for us?
I don't know. I heard that it gets crazy. And I heard that it was really good, and it was really recommended to us. So that, like I said, that's all I need to be interested in a show. I know nothing about the story. So how about you? Do you know something about?
I don't know. Is it in that show that they got some sort of...
I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
No, I know, but I mean, if I'm right, there's supposed to be...
There's a white thing here.
White cat rabbit something.
Yes.
So, okay, yeah.
I don't know if it's a cat, but it's an animal of some kind. So yeah, that's all you know about it?
I just know that if that thing is in that show, this is a curse or something bad. That's
well,
what
I told you it gets crazy eventually. So I'm ready to be traumatized. I'm ready to freak out, and I'm ready to have a good time. So we'll jump into this blind, with only this as our information, and hopefully you guys are also interested in watching this show with us. And yeah, that's about it. So episode 1, let's go. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, if you want to know when these episodes come out, and check out our Patreon for the full reactions.
All right, 1, 2, say no.
First episode.
First impression of the show.
I thought it was cool. It's bringing, it's bringing a lot of nostalgia feels, because it kind of reminds me of Cardcaptor Sakura a little bit. And we used to watch that when we were kids, and it's the stuff that mesmerized us when we were younger, but at the same time it does also give me a Scream vibe in the way that it seems that it's just deconstructing the rules of a magical girl type of show.
It's taking every stereotype of what a magical girl show should be and using it against it.
But then the only reason we know that is because we know that that little thing is bad. So we kind of spoiled ourselves with that one.
Sorry.
But, so, I don't know if that's supposed to be one of the huge surprises at the end. I'd rather go into the show with you guys knowing that
I think that this thing's supposed to be bad. I think.
I just know that, stuff gets bad in the show at one point. So, bad as in, shit hits the fan. Not bad as in the show gets bad. But, I'd rather, go into the show and tell you right away, guys, that we know about this twist, it looks like, because now it explains why we're looking at this, and we see, I already forgot most of the names, but we see the new student.
Madoka, Omura, and the friends.
I should write it down. I will write it down. Homura. Madoka, I'll remember. It's easy. So Homura shows up. She reminds me of Xiaoran, so sorry about the pronunciation.
Lionel from Sakura Card Captor.
I don't even know if that's his name. No, I think his name is Xiaoran in English.
In English?
Is it? I don't know. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. She reminds me of him. So she arrives. She's kind of like a jerk. She's good at everything. She doesn't, you know, push away anyone, but at the same time, she's not going towards people either. She's cold in that way.
She knows stuff that she shouldn't, or that we don't know yet.
I don't know if time travel is a thing in this. I don't know how much she knows, why she knows
but
us.
They did talk about maybe past lives, so I don't know if that's a thing. And they used to maybe know each other in another life or in another reality.
Yeah, but then, other reality or not, the fact is, she knew that Madoka was going to be asked or offered a chance to become a magical girl. And she was like, if you value, you know, the people you love in your life, you don't want to become someone else. You stay who you are. Basically, don't make that contract. So she knew that this was going to happen and this was going to be bad. So why? Is it a power of hers? Is she from the future? Has she traveled back to save the world? If it's a thing? We don't know. It's episode 1. We don't know the rules of this show yet. But, you know, anyone that doesn't know about that little thing being bad, looking at this episode, would assume, you know, I mean, we might have, you know, asked a few questions about Homura and wonder why she warned the main character, and then that happened, and we would be suspicious. But we know right away that I feel like I should trust Homura and not that little blonde girl who seems to be friends with that thing. So that's because we know that thing is bad. But anyone who hasn't seen it would go into this episode and be like,
to be fair with you, not knowing that this little fluffy creature is supposed to be bad, usually when you see something that looks cute and innocent being chased by a girl, it means that thing is not innocent and is dangerous.
But that's why I'm saying, you know? It's kind of breaking the rules of a magical girl show, because you got that cute little creature who offers the main character powers, and you make a contract, or you become friends with it, or you do something that triggers those powers awakening, but then that creature becomes your ally. It's not meant to be the evil of the show.
Yeah, but in normal magical girl show, that creature is not chased by someone else. Did you see Kero being chased by someone?
Well, no, because Kero was in a book, but...
that's why.
No, but it's like they're painting Omura as being the evil one in the show. Even like now we have a new friend, the blonde girl, and she threatens Homura, and she's like, you know, you don't want to start something, but they're acting like they are enemies. And we're about to become friends with the blonde one. So the way it's painted, it looks like they're trying to put Homura in the antagonist role. But maybe Madoka is going to go against that stereotype. Maybe she's going to still try to talk to her and see what's going on. Because what she warned her about is literally happening.
Yeah.
I just worry it's going to be too late. Because it looks like as soon as she says yes, things are going to start being destroyed, basically. So, we still don't know what they are, how they got their powers. We know that witches are a thing. They can transform reality, apparently. Mess things up, you know,
Which is cool.
What, you know, how...
This is really cool, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's why we saw the dream, like, the way, you know, everything was kind of like in Alice in Wonderland. Stairs in the ceiling, and then broken down towers, and everything was floating around. Maybe it was a witch that did that. I don't know. But it got me hooked. I'm interested in learning more about the powers in this show. I want to see how everything is going to crumble. It's a bit sad that we knew about this thing being evil from the beginning, because unfortunately that just steals that surprise from us, and we can't really theorize about it. You should not have told me, actually. But then you're telling me that, and I think I remember seeing it being a bad thing. It's hard not to know anything about a TV show that's been out for years. So, I mean, that's
to be fair, we've watched so many top 10 anime powers, magical abilities, tragic endings, tragic death.
Well, that's because of one of those top 10s that I knew that Madoka Magica was fucked up.
Yeah. So we've heard of many shows that looks interesting to watch, just like Madoka Magica. And unfortunately, we know some tricks, but we tell you that, guys.
I still don't know how crazy it's gonna get. I don't know how bad that thing is or how it's gonna
Like
be
I
bad.
said, I know nothing.
Don't
nothing
know.
about what's gonna happen in that show.
I'm also curious why these two specifically were chosen to well, were targeted. I'll say targeted.
Because they got the crazy hairstyle and they look innocent?
No, I mean they have friends that also look crazy and they also look innocent and they weren't picked.
True.
Do you have to have, a magical inclination to be picked? And why, I mean, if this thing is evil, why pick her? I mean, he said something in the dream about her having a power to save the world or something. Like, she has a special power. And she wasn't a magical girl yet. But she already has something that makes her special. We just don't know what that is. Anyway, we will see, I guess. But yeah, they live in a big ass house with parents that seem very nice. A businesswoman, so that kind of as a mom, so that kind of. I think she's more mature than her age. This is why she's in charge of the health. She's the health person in her group. Mm-hmm. We saw her getting ready at home. Everything is organized. I think that's the vibe in her house because of what her mom is. So she's not, and she's a kid. She's not confident in all areas that are boys forward, let's say.
Yeah.
But she's not there yet. But everything else, she seems very mature, which also reminds me of Sakura, kinda, except for different reasons. It's because that's how she was raised. So I get that. Maybe that's gonna be great because if she faces shit later on, she'll be able to take it on.
Well, you did say though that it looks like she loved to being organized when she was reading herself to go to school.
Well, I don't know if it was her or her mom's things.
Well, she looks to be a lot like her mom though.
Yeah, they were exactly the same.
But
and I mean, she took charge. Her mom is the businesswoman, but she's the one that wakes her up.
Okay, so if indeed she loved to take charge and being organized and have everything in each compartment, what does it say about the fact that we know that maybe in the future everything's gonna come to shit and being
she'll have a responsibility.
They organize, because the city was being destroyed and pulverized.
To me, what it says is that when she finds that responsibility, when she has to take on, the enemy or whatever happens, she will have the attitude that will be from this childhood of hers where, she's good at organizing things. She's good at, prioritizing what needs to be prioritized. She might be able to keep calm. We'll see. She also looks a bit, well, man, that's because she's a kid, but a bit naive here and there. But she's got friends who also seem to be better at that in those areas than her. And one of them is about to also become a magical girl, it looks like. So,
well, I did say that since she's a magical girl, she's not supposed to be really old. So I don't know how old she is. Maybe you can just write it down in the comments,
if
guys.
we know.
Because I'm guessing between 8, 12 maximum.
Yeah, no, she's not 15 or anything.
No, but between 8 to 12 years old. So that's my guess.
Yeah, there's a criteria to follow in a magical girl show. And even though they're breaking the rules, I don't think they broke this one. So
yeah. All right.
Well,
so this looks to be an interesting beginning, and
the music was excellent, by the way. I thought the music was really, really good, and that's usually a big plus for me. So that's cool.
Cool.
It's really bright, but then that will contrast really well with all the darkness from those realities we see with the witches, I guess, and the creepy side of this story. That makes me excited. I mean, I want to know where they're going to go, because even though, like I said several times, we knew that this little furry thing is bad. And I mean, even if we didn't know, a character in the show literally warned us against doing anything with that thing. What that thing offered is supposed to be bad. So in my opinion, we would have been wary of it. Even if we didn't know, we should be wary of it. So I'm excited to see how bad is that thing, what they're going to do with it, what's the story, and how is the main character involved in all this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have anything else to say?
Nope.
So we'll move on.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
Yes, and if you don't wanna, the next one will be out on YouTube next week, guys. So I'm gonna see you then.
Bye.
Bye, guys.